Well, I wasn't going to go live. I was going to take the night off. In fact, I took the day off. I may end up taking a whole weekend off now. I was settling down. Oh, wow. I was settling down to watch the Mets and Phillies baseball game because it was interesting. And then I'm just sitting here, just blah, 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 watching the game, just kind of hanging out, made dinner, was, no one's in the house, just kind of chilling. And then Aaron Parnas shows up on my feed. And I don't hear from anyone else, but I hear from him. And now we've just bombed. We are now involved in a war with Iran. Apparently, that word that there were B-2 bombers being moved to Guam, I thought it was just part of the 2 weeks. Well, it ain't the 2 weeks. He did it, and now tomorrow's Sunday shows will be justification, and they're using the same motherfucking lies that they used for the Iraqi war. They call it nuclear. They called it weapons of mass destruction. Same bullshit, different time. Now, as I go live, I just realized now I can get guests. So if anyone wants to come up and talk about this, because I got a feeling, except for the warmongers and the fucked up MAGA, the majority of us are sitting here are just ridiculous. We're just, I want to say angry, but I'm just not. I'm just like, what the hell? What the hell? That's where we're at. What the hell? It's not even logical to do this. And if you've seen Trump's tweet or whatever, and that's one thing I'm going to say. If you're going to take this country to war, be a man about it and do an address from the White House and say, yeah, this is my decision. This is why I did it. This is what's done. This is what we're going to do. Please, for Lord Almighty, say something. But no, he went ahead and did it, and we're sitting there going, and he announces it through the social media, his social media, and we're all going, that's just gutless. It's cowardly. I mean, come on. Cowardly. Go there and announce it. But now here we are. Now you got to justify it. And you got to justify saying why your intelligence committee, why your intelligence people said, yeah, we're fine, but you went against it because. So, I don't know. This is, then at the end of his announcement, talking about what they did, praising the warriors, he said, now we can have peace. Peace. It's the fucking Middle East. This is just one more chapter in centuries of warfare. Centuries of warfare. Centuries. It's always been tit for tat. It's always been people going ahead and just, as they get close to it, someone does something to stop it. As they keep doing it, it's just, and this is all in a reaction to Trump being embarrassed at the G7. Because this wasn't even on the table. They were still negotiating they were negotiating for an agreement that Trump had already was part of everything. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know how we're going to handle this now, because now this man, and again, as I said in my video, you who are so-called the far leftists who kept going after, um, Kamala Harris, calling her a warmonger or the baby killer or the Palestinian thing, Palestinians. How's that working for you now? Okay? Now, by doing this, and the Israelis involved with Iran, the Palestinians or the Palestinian problem, Palestinian issue or war is on the back burner, but they're still prosecuting that to the fullest extent. They're still wiping people out there. And with America getting involved with Iran, that means here we are. But the difference between this and Iraq, and I'm going to say this, Iraq came at a time which was kind of like a perfect storm to get involved in that war. It was after 9/11, and as I said in my video, we were looking to punch somebody in the face. We were pissed. So they bring this to us, Cheney and Rumsfeld, convince Bush that they have weapons of mass destruction, gas or whatever. It's all there. And then we invade and we go through all that and we know the history of this. And they found no weapons at all. And they brought down a government and we became an occupation army in Iraq, and we know where that went from. We know how that developed. I mean, all you have to use the word is Fallujah, and you know who that is. That disaster happened. So we fast forward here, we have no 9/11 that we're coming off of. We are in 6 months of chaos with Donald Trump. 6 months of problems he caused. He caused. Not Joe Biden, not the Democrats. He caused. He caused all these issues by breaking agreements, by, making it about him and the economy. And the agreement was fine with Obama. It was working. But again, for Trump, if it doesn't have his name on it, he doesn't want it. So he broke it. And then they're still negotiating. And then he saw that as an opportunity to basically show the world that he's a badass. And you know I'm right. So, damn. Hi. Happy Saturday to you. I don't want to be discussing this. I don't. Because I don't know what's the next steps. We have a Secretary of Defense who's a drunk. We have a military hierarchy has been butchered by said drunk and Trump, who are we don't know what their plans are, and if the plans are even going to be viable. I mean, what are you going to do? There is no plan. There's never a plan with Trump. It's just basically break it. And this is not going to, and I know everyone, he said, well, Wall Street should stay out of this. They don't know what's going on. You don't get it. Come Monday, the markets are going to be affected. War is not good for business unless you're in the business of war. But at this point, it's not good for business because the Iranians made it clear they're not backing down. See, Trump is under the impression that him being Trump, that as soon as he dropped bombs on them, it was going to be okay. Yeah, I'm going to show them that You don't mess with the United States, and they're going to shake in their boots and capitulate and sign whatever I put in front of them. That's his thinking. That's his thinking. Tell me it's not. It's his thinking. So that's why he put that. Now there can be peace. No, dude. There's going to be more flinging of missiles. And the Iranians will attack American bases now. It's coming. It's totally coming. We know this. The Houthis might do it. It's coming. And that's going to exasperate. It's going to make it more. So then he's going to say, well, now we have to step it up to stop them. We have to. You can see it coming. What's happening? Meanwhile, on the home front, Stephen Miller has been exposed as a racist. Shock. Wall Street Journal or New York Times reporting that, first of all, Trump loves him. Trump loves him. Trump loves this guy. And he is stating, he said his impression of Miller is that Stephen Miller wants an America of 100 million people that all look like him. So there is someone I could trust. And hey JD, how you doing? Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Guess I'm getting
Yeah,
drafted.
I'm back. Say again?
I guess I'm getting drafted, huh?
How old are you?
24.
Oh, well, I have two sons in their 20s.
Yeah.
And as I said in the vehicle, you're getting, on a video, you're getting them over my dead body. Fuck you and fuck your war. That's honest. I mean, I don't know what the plan is.
There is
He
no
really,
plan.
yeah. I mean, are you, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're not entering this war because Iran has nukes. We're entering this war because if we didn't, Israel would lose. Iran is a lot stronger than Netanyahu thought. And they're going to get overwhelmed. And that's the only reason I listen to this.
Yeah, it's the problem with Netanyahu because he's desperate. He's trying to keep his job. But the thing about it is he also played Trump just the way you play Trump. He made him feel good about himself, made him, hey, you could save us, and here we are.
Yep.
And Benjamin Netanyahu, they know they're not close to a nuclear weapon. We know this. So what happens now? I mean, Trump is expecting them to curl up and in fear and do whatever he wants. That ain't happening. I know that's not happening. Shit. In the Sunday shows, it could be nothing but Trump fucks going, no, Leon Barron ain't getting drafted. As one person says, he's got a hereditary problem with bone spurs. So he can't get drafted. That's not mine. That's someone who wrote on put it on video.
Yeah.
You know this.
I'm not going to let that draft dodger draft me. If I get the letter, I'm going to Canada.
And he's going online at 10.
Yeah.
B3. Okay, because here's the thing. He didn't have the balls to make that announcement on TV. He set that out on one of his social media bullshit. So doing it now is bullshit.
Yep.
Okay, you should have done it right away. But the only reason it's coming on 10 because people said you kind of want to do this. No, I'm not watching it because I know it's going to be bullshit. It's just it's an ego thing, dudes. It's an ego. It makes him feel good because he got to play with his toys. And how many men, women, and children were hurt or killed tonight?
Yep.
How many? I mean, the insanity continues. And I don't know. It's 6 months, dude. We're 6 months in, and he's got us in a war. 6 months. So, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jenny.
It's just amazing because not only did he get us into a war, we effectively have no FBI right now. No other country is sharing intelligence with us. And we have a drunk guy running our DOD. We are a sitting duck for terrorist attacks now. And every terrorist network in the world is after us now.
You know why we're a sitting duck for terrorist attacks, right? Because the FBI, DHS, entire apparatus is chasing down people in taco stands or restaurants or in farms. That's what they're doing right now. That's all they're dedicating themselves to.
Yep.
Is that. And I don't know what's next. At 10 o'clock, it will get. I mean, an announcement like that should take, what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I'll fucking guarantee you it'll go an hour of bullshit.
Yeah, definitely. And he'll end up talking about Arnold Palmer's penis again or something stupid.
Oh, or blame Democrats. Blame Biden.
Yeah. He'll blame Biden for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be. And in the meantime, here at home, did you see that story on Stephen Miller?
No.
Okay, so they did an in-depth. I keep forgetting if it's the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal about the mechanics behind the White House, and that Trump only likes certain people, and certain people get his ear. And they start talking about Stephen Miller, and he loves him some Stephen Miller. Because Stephen Miller is a racist like him, but he did comment on the depth of his racism is Stephen, and this is from Trump, Stephen Miller wants an America of 100 million people that look like him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, and the first thing I thought was ethnic cleansing. That's why you see what you see right now with the mass arrest. They arrested an LA citizen, another American citizen in LA the other day, detained him. This guy is a student at Claremont College, a medical student at Claremont College, who was stopped. He gave them their ID. He didn't believe them, and they took him. But that's where we're at. They just looking for numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And so how are you going to do this, Donald or the Trump administration? Fight a war at home and fight a war overseas? Because you're fighting a war at home right now.
Oh yeah. Well, a two-front war has never been won before.
No.
So
ask the Germans in World War I, and then the Germans later World War II.
Yeah.
Which was self-inflicted, and the French found that out too, if you go back further. But it's just insane on a weekend to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know. I mean,
I'm trying to figure out why he did this, and it's not because he wanted to do it. Well, it wasn't for any kind of actual reason that you would think of. I think it has to do with trying to get support of the public in this country, in large part.
But he's not going to get it.
Exactly.
He's not, because I saw that one person said in a video, yeah, well, we're going to have to support the president because we've gone to war. No, we do not.
Yep.
It's not a just war. It's not something we're in on.
What he thinks is it's going to end up being like World War II. But fucking nobody wants this.
Nobody wants this. And and here's the thing: they're trying to use the same things that were done to us in. That's a possibility, Nishri, that get us away from domestic issues, but it's kind of hard to do because we're not going to support them on either. We're not going to give away from the domestic issues. That ain't happening because it's still in our backyards. Unless the Iranians have found a way to hit American targets at home, it ain't an issue, which they can't. That's the thing. How is Iran a threat to us? I'm waiting. Someone tell me.
They're not. I mean,
No.
Iran themselves are not, but Russia is and China is.
And aren't the Russians and Iranians tight?
Oh, very, yeah.
So how's that he going to justify that to his sugar daddy?
I I don't understand that. Mike talked about that the other night, and I'm like, I don't know how he's going to swing that.
B3 is saying that how this would get him. You know what? I'm going to say this. I think that's why he put that note in uh, um, that note at the bottom of his tweet or Twitter. Now peace can be had. He might use this away because he wants to get a Nobel Peace Prize. That bugs his ass every day because Obama has one. It's all about that. That never will end for him. Dear God Almighty. Yeah, there are a lot of people who might be on board this fee, but it ain't the majority of us. They did a poll. They asked straight up. They asked straight up.
It was like
Hey,
60. It was like 65% against or something like that, and that's
yeah,
including MAGA.
60%. Yeah, that's including MAGA,
Yeah,
and that's 60% against this war. So and even that 30%, some of it was, yeah, 10% was in on it. The rest of the answers was, I don't know what's going on. Just, dumb, drunk, and stupid. T, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Will? I just sat down. I
Yeah,
saw you were on. Hey, whatever happened to
yeah.
congressional approval?
fuck that, right?
He's been cutting budgets with appropriations already set from Congress. What's war?
This dude is insane.
Because, and I think JD and I were talking about it, and I'm going to ask you that question. Do you think that his reasoning is that he may get the public to love him again?
I don't see how when everybody's against this war, even his own Republican.
But he's thinking that now that we're at war, you're going to do the patriotic thing and support me as president.
Well, he may be thinking that, but I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
it's not never going to happen. If today did anything, it split the Republican Party to the bone. I mean,
I'm
Well,
sorry.
it,
Say again. You kind of you faded.
if today did anything, it split the Republican Party to the bone.
I don't know. You know those guys. They have the backbone of slinkies.
I was upstairs working on the door, and then all of a sudden I get a message saying, "Hey, Trump just said they had 3 successful airstrikes on Iran," and I'm like, "You got to be shit."
I mean, I'm sitting here just having dinner and watching a baseball game. I'm communicating with my wife and my family's in Florida, and Aaron, and of course, my spirit animal was the one that told me, Aaron Parnas, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And here's what's effed up, right? I went looking for the story. I can't find the story. I can't find it anywhere.
Um,
I,
our
I,
local news just put it out there on
I
Facebook.
mean, and then we're just sitting here going, and he did it, and I'm sitting here going, okay, now what? And the thing I was telling JD before he came on to you was that motherfucker didn't even do it live and make that announcement. He put it on a social media post, and now he's coming out at 10 to make the announcement. But dude, you have no balls to tell the American people you just committed us to a war in the Middle East. In the Middle East again.
Yeah.
again.
Here we go.
And
Another 10, 15 years.
when did America getting involved in the Middle East work out for us?
And I don't think it's a necessity. That we do
It's
it.
an insanity. Because Iran is not a threat to us. They have no nuclear weapon. They have no way to deliver a nuclear weapon. And the Israelis are the only problem is you got Netanyahu, who's been whining about this for fucking decades, and that's he's been using that as a political toy. Now he's got the U.S. convinced and helping him out to stay in
Yep.
power mostly.
And the Houthi says if we do strike, they're going to start going back after our ships again.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what de-escalation is what he wants. Because that's what you put it in. Now there could be peace. There ain't gonna be no peace. I mean, if he's in the mentality that they're gonna run scared, he doesn't have no idea how the Middle East runs. We saw that with the Afghan war and what he tried to do at the end of his first presidency.
Well, it's going to be very expensive. Hell, I don't want my taxes going to another fucking war that nobody wants.
We don't have any money.
Right.
The money's gone. And there's a budget coming up that the Senate is making worse than the House with more cuts. More cuts.
Selling off half the national parks and stuff too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's sidetrack on that. They want to sell parts of national parks to private sellers. And you know who's going to buy that,
What's
right?
their reasoning behind that?
I don't know.
They're selling land like the land like basically surrounding the Grand Teton National Park. They're selling that for quote unquote affordable housing. In Jackson Hole, fucking Wyoming. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. No. I mean, it's going to. We know that's going to be. It's ski lodges or exclusive resorts for the very rich. I mean, national parks are open to all of us, but
Yeah.
they want to make sure. It's like when someone buys beachfront property in California, and you have to explain to the idiots, yeah, you're in front of the beach, but you don't own the fucking beach. That belongs to the state, and people can walk in front of your house.
Yep.
You have to explain that. It's the same thing. And I mean, what are you going to do? Sell parts of Yellowstone? Open up some kind of sulfur spa? I mean, what is crazy? I mean, it's just, and we sit there and they sell it to us as reasonable, and the press goes, oh, okay, we're fine with that. I'm good. I was going to ask you a question, Tucker. I was going to ask you this, T. Did you see that expose on the workings of the White House, especially with Stephen Miller?
No, I haven't seen that yet. Did it come out today?
Okay, it came out today. Here's as I was telling JD, Donald Trump loves him, Stephen Miller. There's people he loves and people he hates. And Stephen Miller is his spirit animal because he's a racist. But he said that Trump's description of the depth of racism that Stephen Miller has is, quote, Stephen Miller wants an America of 100 million people to all look like him.
So all white and bald.
Well, I don't know about the ball part, but I'm sure about the skin color part. It is crazy right now
Yep.
what's going on. So I don't know. I mean, now we're going to sit around waiting for what he's going to do next because Congress isn't going to do shit. They just sit there and smile
Yeah.
and just
Well,
go
isn't
along
that where
with
he
it and
said he
nod their
wanted
heads.
150 million people that looks just like him?
100 million people that look just like him. Yes, sir.
Yep, that's what I thought. Yeah, my stomach just dropped.
Yeah. 100 million people. I refer that in a video as ethnic cleansing.
That's what it is.
That's what that is. And that's why his edicts are just anyone that's, if it's brown, it's got to go right now.
I mean, at this point,
And
somebody's got to step in. This is insane.
but whom? See, that's the thing. The courts aren't going to step in. No one's going to. I mean, Congress is run by cowards like Mike Johnson, who's just basically down with everything. In the Senate, you've got spineless people, or you got people that agree with him, like John Fetterman. John Fetterman was down with the war. He's already. Let's get it over with. You see that vid? The Democratic Senator of Pennsylvania. Let's do it. Let's get it over with.
Fuck him.
I know. And Lindsey Graham is like, when did he become a warmonger? That Southern Belle.
You know,
Oh
and I
my
just
God.
turned the news on, and what they're saying is Trump just finished a very successful. Like,
Yep,
there's
here we
nothing to
go.
brag about this.
Yep, there's the spin. Dear God Almighty. They're going to try to sell us this patriotism bullshit. They're going to try to sell it to us like they did during the. Excuse me. That was my phone doing stupid. Patriotism thing like they did during the Gulf War and the Iraqi War. And if you want a good sign of the Gulf War, do you remember what happened to the Dixie Chicks when
Yeah.
they said their comment about George Bush?
Oh yeah, they got
They're going to
canceled.
try to get us into the. Yeah, well, they didn't. They came back, but the point is, and that was even before really social media and shit. The point is, they were just. If we exercise our right to say this is wrong, they're going to paint us as un-American. No, we're not. This is not going to be a popular war. And it's not over, it's going to get worse. And the press saying that this is a successful bombing, yeah, of course, if you do it from 40,000 feet with stealth bombers, yeah, that's successful. Now what?
Okay, right. So let's talk about the aftermath. You think they're just going to lay down and take that and say, "Thank you, can I please have another?" Right? No,
That's Trump's plan. That's his plan.
the
They
first thing my
seriously
wife
think,
said was, "Why? Why would he do that?" I'm like,
Because he's a fucking idiot. That's why.
and that was my answer. That was my exact answer.
well, I think it's basically again, this didn't come up until we went to the G7 and got stepped on. None of this came up until he got embarrassed at the G7.
He's trying to prove
Where-
he's a big tough guy.
Right. And I already got one warning on this new account, but I'm going to say it. Basically, he thought he could swing it, but he found out that the other men in there are bigger and badder and much better at it. They saw that little thing and said, "Bitch, please. Really?" And that's why he ran. Okay, I know that's crude, but tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
I mean, he is,
Sorry, Kim.
and that's what it is. And this all came from that. It all came from that is that he was so hurt. I mean, that's on top of the week before with the No Kings protest and his military parade turned into shit.
Well, aren't you supposed to have? And I get it, right? It's a whole different administration and all that, but aren't you supposed to have a declaration of war?
Now we're back to what happened in Vietnam, which we never had a declaration of war, where it's the battle of yes, but the president is the commander in chief and he can move troops. So that's where we're at. We've always been in that situation.
Well, and didn't we kind of get around that by not really calling it a war, too?
Exactly, a police action.
Yeah, same with Korea. They did the same thing with
Yeah.
Korea.
Kim, how you doing? I'm back and I can get guests.
Yeah, I know. I just heard and turned on the news. That's
Yeah, so
crazy.
it's crazy in the sense that it's like they expect us to fall in line and say, "Yay, America." I'm not down with this.
This has been
I
going
can't be
on.
down.
This has been going on in one way or another for decades. Decades. I mean, when I was a teenager, we were in this mess. We hadn't done anything necessarily, but we were close to it.
Hmm.
And, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but again, getting into a war in the Middle East is stupid.
Yes, it is.
I mean, and I'm talking go back to the 19th century. Ask the British, then ask the Russians, then ask us.
Well, who's going to fight it? They've
Just,
kicked out so many people, right? I mean, who's going to?
but that's the thing too. The secretary, hi Shelley, the
Hi.
secretary of defense is a drunk who was cut out of the war planning because he was pissed at him because of his parade. They butchered the upper half of all the military. So who's running this fucking zoo? I mean, it's
It's Trump.
insane.
Trump is in charge of the whole damn thing.
Hi Shelly, how you doing? Welcome
I'm
to
good. Are you guys okay? Is everybody okay? I'm just checking on everybody because I'm really not okay. I'm almost on the verge of tears, and I don't understand how we're at this point in this day and time.
People are stupid.
there's go ahead, JD, I'm sorry.
I said people are stupid. The end.
Yeah, but they have power, and that's our problem.
Well, I can tell you, I'm not
Basically,
okay. This is
no,
this does not make any sense.
no, and the thing about it, we're basically being run by a madman.
We are.
He is making up his own rules as he go along. He has power. He just wants, and every time someone makes him feel bad, here we are.
Yeah, he acts
I
out.
mean, it's a toddler.
We
It's a
gotta
toddler.
stop. We gotta stop this guy, man.
But
How do
how?
you go out of there?
When you look into the dictionary under narcissist, there has to be a picture of Donald Trump.
Exactly. I mean,
The
his
whole page is a picture of Donald Trump in the dictionary.
his mind it changes like the weather. I mean, we're like normally I'm all like, oh well, the midterms are going to be crazy, but we're not going to fucking make it to the midterms if this shit keeps happening.
Agreed.
We're going to get bombed off
We're
the face
s-
of the fucking
He
earth.
just threw the biggest temper tantrum of his political career.
correct.
Yep.
And the thing about it is like, I mean, it's just it's 6 months. It's been 6 months. I mean, and I'm not counting all the time we've been dealing with this asshole, but 6 months in his presidency,
Not
and
even.
he ruined the economy, broke down the whole social net, put people out of work for his own sake, broke the infrastructure in the United States. Pretty much is breaking the economy. See the GDP numbers, see the retail sales numbers. They're not working. Car sales are down. That's going to catch up with a lot of people soon.
He also lowered our credit rating for the first time ever.
Yes, that means, and that's the thing. He keeps going after the Fed about the interest rate. Hey, Donnie, the interest rate is based on Treasury bonds, and since now our credit is less, our American investing in America, it's not worth it. That's why the interest rates won't change. And I read a report. More foreign money is not coming to the United States. It's going to other countries because we're not a good investment. That's bad. Treasury bonds again.
Yep.
These are big picture things that ignorant people like MAGA and Trump don't see. It doesn't work like that.
No.
The economy is worldwide. It's not this bullshit thing you tried to sell us. But that's slowly catching up with him. We got the bill that's in Congress that might pass that will make it worse for everyone. They don't understand that if you make people desperate, what you saw in the protest is going to change. It's going to change.
And it's all going
Desperate
to be aimed
people,
at, it's going to
yeah,
change, and it's all going to be aimed at one man.
right. And that's the thing. I want to ask all you guys in this opinion, Kim, Shelley, T, do you think that America is going to go to, we're at war, we must stick together?
No.
Mm-mm. I don't think so.
No, absolutely not. Because I can tell you why. Because of the feeling that I have in my stomach right now. And it's not about, oh, kumbaya, he's safe. It's about what in the actual hell is going on.
Yep.
And it makes me even more upset of people who actually voted for this dickhead, because we wouldn't be in this position right now.
Because a lot of them too, and my video on it was directed at the far left, and people have said that, what I love about some of the people who had talked about Kamala Harris, we don't want a woman in power because they have mood swings. Motherfucker, men are worse. We are worse.
Well, not
I'm
only
sorry.
that, once a woman gets past a certain age, there are no more necessarily any more mood swings.
I mean, I saw this cheating bastard, line up a golf swing just a couple of days ago. Totally missed, almost falls on his diaper, picks the ball up, put it in his pocket. You can't trust anybody like that.
He cheats.
At everything.
And
And
I mean,
I'm thinking about something that Denise said on Mike's podcast last week. She said that it very well could get to the point where the American people just say, "Fuck it, we need elections now, and we don't care what the Constitution says." I'm thinking we're pretty damn close, but I don't know what it's going to look like to get us to have those elections.
it's going to have to be a coup. Someone's going to have to push him out and then reset.
Well,
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to go.
okay, so I want to address a comment, somebody
go ahead.
in your comments. Like, I don't have an issue with you coming up, but this is Will's podcast. But if you do come up, you owe Shell an apology, and we could never ever have that again.
Thank you, T. I didn't want to address that because that happened on your things last night. And I'm sorry, dude. I don't want that tonight. I can't have that. I'm sorry, not tonight. Because let me be clear, and T knows me. I'm not a calm human being to an extent. And you don't mess with people like you did last night. I can't do it. So I'm going to say this straight up. At this point, I'm not going to do it because I don't trust you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You need to gain.
I apologize.
You need to gain some.
No, I'm
trust
not
back.
apologizing. I'm being straight up.
Oh no, you need to gain some trust back, Nick, by making some decent comments and showing that you're trustworthy in the future, and maybe making that apology for what we're asking for from last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need to discuss that with T.
Well,
I apologize.
Well, the thing is-
because I'm going to say it straight up. I was sitting there in the bedroom hearing that, and I'm like,
yeah.
No.
Well, here's the thing. Shell, she's new to us, right? And I don't want to alienate anybody because we don't get down like that. Not on our lives anyway. Because everybody's opinion is valued.
I love Shell because she thought I was cute. I'm good with it. I'm down.
No, I didn't hear that, Will.
Oh, I heard it.
I have to say that I have such thick skin. I am a woman. I work in a man's industry, and I have really thick skin, and I'm able to forgive no problem. I think sometimes we get really passionate about these subjects, and it makes it hard for us to keep our eyes on the prize. And I'm very forgiving, so I will definitely take an apology at any time.
And your point for me last night, I wanted to address it real quick. I got what you were saying.
Thank you.
Because once we get into like this, we can save it by just being American. Yeah, it sounds cute. It sounds stupid cute when you're looking at your neighbor getting dragged away. Oh, I get it. I mean, because I waffle between, yeah, everything's going to be okay because the courts and we can vote them out. to, you know what, I'm down with pitchfork and torches right now.
I
I
agree.
mean,
I hear
that's
what
what,
you're saying.
Me too.
and that's what I'm getting to the point though. We're gonna have to go pitchfork and torches. I mean, shit.
And
Where and
Sean,
when? Let me
yeah,
know.
Michelle, one of the things that you have to understand about this group is once you're a part of this group, they will take up for you and defend you no matter what. It wouldn't matter whether the cussing was addressed to you or to Trucker or to JD or to Will. They would have stepped up and said the same thing. You know, you just don't talk to one of our group like that and get away with it. It's just not something that we tolerate.
Right. And I appreciate that more than anything, and I feel the same way. And I've been trying really hard to get in at Mike's lives forever, it feels like. And I got when I was listening to Rational Boomer, I listened to him on the way to work, which means I listened to him on Spotify, which means I didn't comment a lot on TikTok on his stuff because I had already heard it on Spotify. So a lot of people didn't really know me. So I really stepped it up. I tried to step up my comments. I tried to start commenting more, and I've now been asked on a couple of the lives, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am to be with like-minded people. I just don't feel so alone now.
Yeah,
That's
that's
that's the whole point of doing this, really.
that's what this group has done for me. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. It's really important. It's really important that we're a group of like-minded people that are here supporting each other, especially in these times the way that they are. I think one of the things that I was hearing JD Farmer as I was being added was they're not calling it a war. They're calling it a conflict. Well, that's how he's going to get away with doing all of these things without involving Congress.
Yep.
Exactly.
Gray areas.
Yeah. And so Jay's here because Jay's always has a different perspective. How you doing, Jay?
Hi, Jay.
Take a wild guess as to how I'm doing.
I think that if you could, you'd be loading photon torpedoes for targeting practice at this point, if I read you right.
Wow, that's surprisingly tame compared to some things I was thinking of. Okay, what you all need to understand about me is I am a hardcore justice hawk, okay? I am one of the people that, I mean, yeah, I'm all for restorative justice for people who get hurt, but when it comes to the people who are doing the hurting, fuck that. I want punitive justice. I want punishment. And so,
Jay, you're not a lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
We all are.
Yeah, see, the thing about it is like, the problem we're going to have right now, and we'll say this, that the guys who are supporting this have no idea what war is. Okay?
No, they don't.
They don't.
They think it's
Vets
fucking Call of Duty.
Yeah, exactly. Vets don't. I will say this: I have not been involved in combat. I'm not military, but I lived through the Vietnam War. By the way, that was an unpopular war, just so you know.
Yeah,
And
I
I
knew.
remember-
I saw the pictures of the protests, and I read some of the songs that people wrote to protest it.
And the thing is, I remember as a kid watching the news, and they would have up like a chart. Today in Vietnam, so many died, so many wounded. I never forgot that image in my life because it comes down to numbers. And the thing that sets in my soul to this day, when I was working in my job, when I was doing, I was a brewer. I was working at a brewery. We went to Baltimore right after 9/11 because we had to do some training. And we got to DC at night. And trust me, DC was weird in November of 2001. That was a
remember
weird place
that.
to go.
I remember that on the podcast.
And what we did was, I had one of my coworkers wanted to go to the wall because we got to the mall, and he wanted to go to the wall. and look for one of his buddies who died with him when he was serving in Vietnam. And he went looking for him in the dark. And I saw him and I felt that. And if you've been near the wall, there is a, I can't even describe it, there's a burden on that. Does that make sense? It just hits
Yeah.
you. And around the turn is that statue of the soldier holding the other soldier, pulling him out, which is part of the Vietnam Memorial. And when I hear these assholes talk about this as, well, they can't beat us. Yeah, I'm ready to join. Now, you dumb motherfuckers.
Yeah, you go right ahead and join.
Please do, guys. Please do join up and wipe yourselves off the roster list of the human race. Please
So-
do
And the
that.
thing about it is, I don't want, it's just, the thing about it, we talked about Iraq and how that whole lie got us involved in the Middle East.
Right.
And after they didn't find anything, we had to be an occupying army in Iraq. I had I was working, I just brought this memory came back and I remember one of my coworkers' sons was a artillery officer. Okay? He was so proud when he graduated West Point. He was so proud. But he got sent to Iraq and for artillery during the Iraq War. Afterwards, he had to do search and seizures, which he was not trained for. And he had to lead a squad into it. And we came in one day and I'm talking to him and he goes, yeah, I heard from my son. He lost 3/4 of a unit to an IED. He had to write those letters to his families. And he felt guilty because he could not take care of his men. So you fucking tell me, people, how this is a good thing.
So let me
It's not.
You tell me. I'm waiting.
So where does this put us with NATO?
Out of NATO.
Yeah, that's what I was
NATO's just going to say, that's your fucking problem.
thinking. Yep.
I mean,
And we'll deserve it.
he basically just decided that he was right about his thoughts. The intelligence community is telling him, oh no, they're years away from developing an actual nuclear device. And he says, oh no, they're lying. They don't know what they're talking about. They're weeks away. And that's how in his mind, he's right no matter what. And that justifies his actions.
It's not just that. I actually have done a little bit of research into this beforehand. Donald Trump has wanted for years an excuse to bash Iran militarily because something happened, they made him look weak, and then he killed their top general, and then he got paranoid because he now thinks they're trying to kill him. So
Yeah, that's
it's Donald
true.
Trump being paranoid and probably still smarting over them making him look weak or some dumb thing. Like, the man is a fucking toddler. Like, we just need to understand that. He doesn't let go of anything. He always holds on to everything and will just, bash people with it just because that's who he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the hardest thing for all of us sitting here in this, as we speak right now, is that we're sitting there going, we don't know how to stop it, and we know what's going to happen next to those of us, the innocents. We know what's next. And that's the scary part, because we've all lived it. We've seen it.
Well, they've got sleeper cells, right? So who's to say they're not
Yeah,
activated
right.
right this second? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I know. Right. I have squirrels in my backyard with M16s, okay? All right.
I'm pretty sure that's just a right-wing nut job conspiracy theory.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the possums are the one. The possum family I have under my porch.
Or maybe it's those fucking trash pandas.
What
Oh,
even
trash pan.
what even is that? What's a sleeper cell?
Do you remember the show The Americans? That was on FX?
I never watched it.
Okay, basically that's a fantasy where a sleeper cell of Russian agents dressed up as a family, are, do sabotage and stuff. That's what that's based on.
Oh,
That's
geez.
an old KGB thing. If you've seen the movie Black Widow, she was part of a sleeper cell in Ohio.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
it's basically the concept that countries have sent people to our country to live, to integrate, to become a part of our society, maybe even become citizens. And those people are really here to do harm, and they're just waiting to be awoken, to do what they were trained to do.
You know what they think it is? They think it's that one scene out of fucking Star Trek Picard at the shipyards on Mars where the Zhat Vash, the sort of Romulan Illuminati, just snapped their fingers,
Right.
tripped some kind of kill program, and all the synths, all the androids went nuts and started blowing shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, yeah. Basically, that's pretty much it. And they say the same thing during the Iraqi war. And again, the reason that a lot of us bought that bullshit, because we were still smarting from 9/11. Let's be honest.
But if you
Yeah,
go back,
we were looking to punch someone in the mouth
I mean, if
at
you go
that
back to
point.
World War II, we interred the Japanese because we thought the same thing.
Pretty much.
Dr.
So I have a
Seuss
question.
drew a lot of really racist cartoons about that. Yeah.
Yes, Shelley, you're going to say?
Do you guys feel like this is why he has been ignoring Pete Hegseth for the last couple of days? Because on the side, they were making these exact plans and they didn't want Pete to screw it up?
You know,
Oh,
I
you
thought
mean,
he,
you mean the
His
you mean the
little,
DUI hire?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his little chat, and give out the plans like you did the last time.
Yeah.
Shelly, I thought it was just because he was pissed about the parade, but loose lips sink ships. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. Because President Miller has been really working on making sure that this was going to happen. I mean, President
Right.
Trump.
No, President Miller, you're correct. And we should keep saying that. We could keep saying that because Trump hears that and it would work into him. Got to keep saying it. We have to keep doing it because it'll get to him and it will work up into him. Because he did that with Elon. That's why he turned on Musk because we
Right.
kept saying President Musk.
I believe so. I believe you're right.
And to piggyback what you said, which is probably true, I remember a story that before D-Day went off, they had a party in England. Now it had been delayed because of the weather, but they were at a party and a certain colonel got too drunk and started to talk about the plans, and they literally had to arrest him and drag his ass out of the party. So yeah, the DUI hire was a national risk. I could see
I
that.
believe so.
Yeah,
So I mean, guys, I have. This is more. This is going to be wait and see. So in 8 minutes, I guess he's going to have address to the nation.
yeah, press conference.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm
I
hoping
cannot
they
wait to
don't.
see the comments on that shit. People are not going to be happy.
I'm watching the Mets and Phillies games right now, but it's on Fox 5 here in Atlanta. So I got a bad feeling I'm going to lose that broadcast to watch his fat face. I'll turn it off. I'll get the highlights.
I'm not watching that motherfucker.
No, I'm getting the
watching that
highlights
either.
from someone else.
I might as well
because-
just burn my own eyes out.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, when you make an announcement like that, it should be 10, 15 minutes. An encouragement. You know it's going to be an hour of fucking grievance.
and blaming previous administrations for what he had to do, and
What you made me do.
right.
Which makes sense for someone who's been convicted of things he has done. That makes sense. Look what you made me do.
Right.
You would be fine if you hadn't made me do that.
I knew something was up when he said that I forget what the phrase he used, but Americans should evacuate Tehran. I knew right at that point that something was going down.
Evacuate Tehran? I think you mean evacuate Israel.
No, he said Tehran.
Tehran.
Later,
That's
earlier.
when he did that when he left the G7 because that's when the idea started coming.
Right,
Also,
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
They
but
just talked
although
about that same thing on MSNBC. They were saying the same thing,
and
that they think
he, there was a order about a week before the G7 for non essential personnel to vacate Mid East embassies. So there was something working for a long time
yeah, but
for
Israel
that.
said that they weren't going to allow any Americans to leave. So I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah,
Well, I
there's
mean, why not?
hostages.
Those hostages make sense to me. You know,
They're
you got to
bargaining.
protect them.
They're
Yeah,
bargaining chips so
of
they can
course.
suck us further into the war.
I
What you
have to
guys
say, this man is a complete professional at going in one direction and pointing in the other and going, look, a plane, and then doing all of this over here. He just sent more National Guard into LA. He did all of this stuff just so he could plan a war with Iran. He's been saying for 2 weeks, look over there, look over there, look over there, and we've all been looking over there, meaning LA, and doing exactly what he was telling us while he was making plans to bomb Iran.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was that long. I think this all really did come about on
You
Monday.
think so? You think so?
Oh yeah. He
I don't
went
think he's
to,
that smart, is the thing.
no, he's not. He went to the G7 expecting to be the biggest, toughest guy in the room, and he expected all the world leaders to defer to him, and he's all powerful and blah blah. But he got exactly the opposite reaction. They were all, everybody in that conference was like, "Get a load of this fucking guy," and he
And
felt that, and that's why he left early. He ran home and pouted, and he's like, "I'm going to show these fuckers how tough I am."
Yep.
That's
and
exactly
Laura, to answer your question, if they pull the draft, there will be hell on the streets.
big time.
Because it's not just going to be young people. It's going to be people like me and you saying, over my dead body, are you getting my sons?
Right.
I'm
Over,
gonna make
over.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and I hope this doesn't get us in trouble. If this fucker brings the draft back, I give it a week tops before someone just pop.
It's possible. But the streets would be That's the thing.
And
That's
make
going to
King's
be.
No King's Day look like a fucking joke.
A picnic.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's the thing. They are counting on, and I think this should be the theme. They are counting on that all Americans, when there's a war, pull together and say, we're there. The problem is, and I'll say this is not America's war. This is fucking Trump's war. Period.
I just posted
Yeah, he
that
can
on
go
my
fucking
page.
fight
This
it.
is MAGA's war.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how MAGA reacts to this.
Oh, I just got off of Facebook, and they're already commenting. They're just cleaning up Biden's mess.
Yep. That's what I
Oh,
saw
you
too.
fucking kidding me?
Nope.
Yep.
That's exactly what I
Really?
just. Yep. I just saw the same thing.
It was Obama's fault. Fuck you.
All right. Gotta remember, we're dealing with. Okay, these people are dead
Okay,
people
where's the
walking.
tequila?
These people are dead. These people are dead people walking. They are mindless drones who've been hollowed out by years of slop and Fox News and shit like that. They are waiting for a queen to give them their marching orders. Fucking human beings don't act that way. Human beings
No,
don't
that
behave like that.
empathetic. Well, no, you got to have empathy not to feel.
You know
That's the problem.
what does behave that way is fucking bugs, and that's what we're dealing with is fucking bugs.
Jay, I was just thinking about that. You know the cordyceps fungus infects an ant.
Yeah,
from
in
The Last
Last
of
of
Us,
Us,
yeah.
yeah.
The ant is still alive, but its only
Oh,
purpose is
dude.
to serve the fungus.
So it's not cordyceps, it's MAGA fungus?
Yes, same thing.
Oh my God. You're right. Oh God, you're right.
It's a death cult.
Oof. That makes sense.
Or and I'm as probably I don't know. Will, how much of a nerd do you say you are?
I mean, I can tell you, I watched Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Hey, Will, real quick.
Okay, I
I
haven't
want you
heard
guys
that.
to understand this before you say that. The comments that I'm putting in are the comments that I'm getting off of Facebook. These are not mine. I just wanted you to see some of them.
I was just
Oh,
gonna
Are
say,
okay.
you kidding?
That's
I
what
was
they're
just gonna say, Trucker, I'm getting ready to block you.
I
right.
know.
That
I was like, what the?
that's why I wanted to interrupt. I
You
normally
gotta
don't
put in a
interrupt.
warning before you do that, Trucker.
I
My
was
bad.
Right?
either
I was
like,
really scared there for a minute.
So you'll see a few more of those, but it's not me. These are what I'm seeing on Facebook.
yeah, I was leaning towards the sarcastic, if anything, hoping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like you just rolled a flashbang into the room there.
I was thinking maybe
Shit.
he's trying to pull off the algorithm or something, you know?
Shit.
My bad.
I thought it was one of
Oh.
those things like, oh, let's talk about how great the TikTok shop is.
Oh, TikTok shop. Man, I love
TikTok
the
shop.
Actually,
Yeah.
if you do put those in, that probably would help the algorithm. So
Yeah.
I got that. I'm not surprised. These people are lost.
They
Yeah.
have no brain left. They don't have brains left. They cannot think.
Yeah, well, that's what I said earlier. We are dealing with, people are, mentioned the prospect of a zombie apocalypse. Fucking zombie apocalypse is already here.
So
Took 10 years. Yeah.
We're
Not
already
further.
the zombies are already here. They're everywhere.
it seems like it. It 100% seems like it because I have never seen such smart people. I mean, I know some smart people that are lock, stock, and barrel invested into Trump.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
need.
give you a bit of advice.
Yeah.
Those people never had
God
brains in the first place.
dang it. Son of a bitch.
What?
Yeah, he's coming on right now. I was writing a ball game. They just put it on. Son of a bitch. Oh, God. Okay, well, that's done.
A good example I have, because somebody in here mentioned the cordyceps fungus from The Last of Us. I have a good example from the big game that I play, Destiny, which is the Taken. And the Taken are this sort of mixed faction or slash race of beings that have been sort of torn between dimensions, and they are blindly, unwaveringly loyal to whoever took them, and they will literally throw their lives away to protect the one that took them. These people have been taken.
We can talk to Borg, too. Resistance is futile.
Except that it's not. It's
No,
clearly not.
not in this situation. But yeah, I did it. I was right in the middle of the baseball game, and then I saw a picture of the White House and Brett Baer from Fox News, and that was my key to drop that. Oof.
I'm
It wasn't
surprised
too
you didn't
bad.
grab a shotgun.
That's one of my favorites right there. That comment.
Kickstart my heart. What the hell?
Oh,
What the hell is that? Shit. Okay. Woo.
are you using text to speech?
No, those are some of
my.
the comments I'm getting off of the about. It's what people are saying about the war. I guess somebody's saying, "Hey, I just had a heart attack."
Kickstart my heart. God. Here we are. You know what? I can't even count the amount of bullshit war that I've been involved, that my country's been involved in, that I have to deal with as a child, as a young adult, and now as an older man with older children. So,
Mark Rubio looks like he's going to throw up.
Oh yeah, you think?
He looks sick.
He's probably
card
going to be
came
the
out-
fall guy for this one.
Yeah, his eyes are wide. He looks ill, literally ill. And I'm not listening. I have it on mute because I can't handle that man's voice. But yeah, he looks bad.
Everybody, just with what's going on right now, I recommend you find and watch the movie Bad President. It's a it's a stupid schlocky like B movie, but the premise is literally that Satan makes Donald Trump president because he wants an agent of evil in the White House to corrupt the world.
Good God, do they all wear the same fucking ties?
I
What,
was
do they
just
dress
looking at
alike?
that. It's funny. They pulled it
Fuck.
all in 2 red ties, a red and blue tie, and a blue tie.
And Pete Hesga, dude, are you taking coke now?
Probably.
Yeah.
So Pete
Yeah, you're right.
Pete Keg's breath can now be upgraded to Pete Coke's breath.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at Marco. Marco was about ready. I think he's gonna faint.
Oh.
It looks
I think
bad.
it's gonna
He
faint.
looks bad.
Oh yeah, it's Trucker T in the comments, that old Tom Lehrer song, "We will all go together when we go." I can't
Yeah.
listen to that shit right now because it ain't fucking funny.
And then JD looks like he needs to be powered up. Vance.
JD looks like he's thinking about a couch right now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't even know what he's. Does anyone know? Has anyone translated what he's saying? Because I'm not putting on the sound. I'm just looking at the.
I'm sorry, I
reactions.
can't. I don't speak. I don't speak stupid. I'm sorry.
God,
Yeah, Mark
he, don't
Rubio
look, he
is
doesn't
barely.
look good.
I don't look how flushed his cheeks are. He's just not looking well.
He's. I'm not looking at the thing
Is
right
he
now.
gonna
But there's some recent
hyperventilate?
photos of him. He's literally just rotting away in front of our eyes. Like the man is literally just rotting
cut the
away,
word.
and just never actually died.
Wow, I'm
He's
stunned.
just rotting in front of our eyes. And how is he still standing?
I don't know.
I'm reminded of that one scene from the Hellboy movie from 2004 where Professor Brutenholm looks at Cronin, who is basically a clockwork-powered zombie, and says, and I quote, "What horrible will could keep such a creature as this alive?" Like, what kind of fucking deal with the devil did this guy make to keep himself alive this long? He's falling apart, literally. How is he still alive?
Wow. I'm just stunned. And it looks like on his stage
Oh, wow.
left, which is on
It took
his
6
right,
minutes.
He's done?
He's done.
He pretty much
look, his toupee
That's
is
usually how it goes.
Right.
Hey, Will, did you pull, or can you pull up Mr. Suave? He's a decent guy.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sorry, brother. Oh, give me a minute.
And by the way, really quick, he earlier commented that World War III is now here. Actually, no, it's not. And I can
Did he say
prove
that?
that in a second. Yes, he did. I saw it.
You're
I'm
echoing
sorry.
bad, Jay.
Am I?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot like that kind of.
Let me mute really quick.
We all are.
There, that one.
Ms. Suave, I did invite you, so if you want to come up,
Yeah, that's a lot better, Jay.
Yep.
okay. He didn't say World War III, did he?
He did. I'm not going to bash him for it, though. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to sort of gently, talk you back down. It's like, no, that's not what's going on. Let's talk it out.
The echo's back.
God damn it. All right. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
I think we may all have to do it for like a second because I can hear my own echo going on.
I can hear it in Shelly too.
I think somebody said when that happens, you're being recorded, so somebody can complain about you or something like that.
Hi. If we're being recorded, hi. How you doing?
Hi,
I hope
Mom.
you're enjoying it. If you want to report that we're talking about bunnies and Mets are up 10-4. Well, horrid. Feel better? There you go. Hi. There you go.
Hey, I heard the Dodgers were doing some good shit this week, man.
They
Yeah,
gave
they-
$1 million
Yeah, I was
to immigrant
impressed
families.
by that.
Yeah, but someone has to ask management why the one last guy was detained. said that one of the staging areas before he was taken to detention was Dodger Stadium parking lot.
I
Yeah,
have
answer
not
that
seen
question.
It's gonna
anything
get
like
through.
that on the
That's the
news.
problem.
I have not seen
Um,
anything that indicates that at all.
the last guy that got picked up, the Claremont student, said that on his transport to the Roybal building, they stopped at Dodger Stadium parking lot to pick up other people that come in from other areas, and then they were shipped to Roybal. That's what he said. I'm not saying it's true. That's what he said in an interview.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that on the news at all, and
Yeah.
I'm on the pulse all day
Okay.
because of my job. I'm gonna let you guys know. So it doesn't actually say in my bio on here, but I work for Fox Sports. I do not
Oh,
work for
cool.
Fox News. I work for Fox Sports. We're a different entity. We're based here out of Los Angeles,
We got a
and
contact
don't
on the
hold it
inside,
against
huh?
me. Sorry.
We got a contact on the inside, huh? Our spy in enemy territory.
There you go.
There you go.
No, Jay, she just said they're separate entities. So she would have to do some
I know,
covert business.
Trucker, it's called a joke.
I got it. I did. I promise.
This fucking guy. I tell you what.
Yeah,
know it.
yeah, it's yeah. No,
I'm-
I'm just hoping that's not true because I saw it was an interview they did with him with KTLA, and that's what he was describing.
Yeah, he's full of shit.
And I was kind of looking at it going, I don't know. I don't think the Dodgers want that smoke. They don't want that mess.
Yeah, no, they
The
don't want
Dodgers
to.
still-
did get a lot of smoke when they got after that young lady for speaking in for saying
Oh, my
singing the
God.
national anthem in Spanish.
That wasn't the Dodgers. That was Dodger management.
Not
we
the
know
Dodger
that.
players.
We can
You're right.
distinct it.
That is
We're
Dodger
distinct.
management.
Okay, so
But
I
I think-
The
heard
Dodger.
that they said that she
Right.
could at first, but then they
No.
changed their mind.
They, as far as I'm hearing from the stagehands that work there at Dodger Stadium, they did not tell her from the beginning because they even tell the mariachis when the mariachis go there to play music, they ask them to do interviews in English, which is completely ironic because the name of the place that Dodger Stadium is built on is called Chavez Ravine. Chavez Ravine. That's
Look up
a
the
cer-
history on that.
Yeah, like
Look at the
Exactly.
history on that.
nothing like
And it's-
whitewashing history. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, well, if
Exactly.
you don't have to whitewash it, all you got to do is there's a documentary on HBO did on the move of the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers to Los Angeles, and they do a great segment on what happened to get that land. Understand that land was eminent domain by Sam Yorty, and they removed a thriving Mexican community in there and gave
Yes.
it to Walter O'Malley to
Yes.
build Dodger Stadium. And the Dodgers were really not popular among Hispanics until Fernando Valenzuela showed up and changed it. And that's still bitter. People, and that's the first thing everyone went to when that went down with Neza. Yeah, remember what you did. They're never going to outlive that, ever. To this day.
Exactly. I don't even know how many families that they did eminent domain on, but it was a lot.
The whole it was horrendous, and I saw a clip of it the other day. The last holdouts. I mean, they're dragging an old lady out there and their children. So and then they right after that they've just been pulled out of their house and they make them watch them bulldoze their house.
God.
And then the next thing is showing Walter O'Malley smiling, breaking ground at Dodger Stadium. As the narrator said, or the person commented behind it, how can you break ground on ground that's already been broken?
Exactly.
How do we end all of this? I mean, it's not just what the government's doing, it's just rich people in general. They're just fucking.
Someone
Yeah, that
say,
was-
Just like crazy.
say something, tell a joke, do something, because I'm really worried I might say something that we're all going to regret.
That was in the 50s.
According to according to what I'm reading, it was over 1,800 families.
Jiminy.
Yep, it was huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was deep, and that's why it burned. It's burned into those in the community. And let me make it clear: I'm a Dodger fan of the team. All right.
They just bought the
And
Lakers.
the guy did, yeah. That's going to be interesting how that's going to roll. But I mean, the best thing about that time, is I remember in 1980 when Fernando, because I was a fan, but I'm also listening because Vince Scully, and Shelley, you probably know what I'm talking about. He
Yes.
lived in LA. It's Vince Scully. I mean, started when I was 8, listening to it on my transistor radio. But when Fernando Valenzuela came, it was such a different vibe. That was such a amazing thing at that time. What happened and how it changed everything in Los Angeles. And it kind of made baseball fun. Made it just so much different, and it kind of opened up a lot of things. It's so the best thing about baseball that I'd always like, and we're going to get off the subject because I think we need to, is that he was not supposed to pitch that day. The starting pitcher, Jerry Royce, was hurt. So they just threw him out there and he never left. And we're talking Lou Gehrig stuff here.
So you're saying they just pitched him onto the field, huh?
Yeah, well, basically he was with the team, but they needed a starter, so Tommy put him out there. But they didn't know it just went. And baseball's like that.
If you just fell
Baseball-
backwards into the thing, huh?
Yeah, baseball is you're given an opportunity because you got all the people in the minor leagues, and when you come up, you're given an opportunity, and if you just shine, you stay. The most recent one is the Korean player Ha-Sung Kim, who was in the minors, came up in 4 games. He stayed because Tommy Edman was hurt. The thing is that baseball, that's what I love about baseball, is that it's the hardest game, but if you make an impression, you won't leave. It's all on you. I mean, that's about as American as you can get, period, how we do it here. So, see, we changed the subject. That should make everyone happy. I don't hear an echo anymore. Huh. I guess we
changed-
satisfied the machine.
Yeah, we changed
So-
the subject.
Or maybe they got tired of my stupid fucking jokes.
I don't know. I mean,
See, that's something everyone in this live and in the chat as well needs to understand about me. When people need the pep talks, I can give the pep talks. When people want to hear jokes, I can tell the jokes. You need a pep talk, I can give a pep talk. If you need a joke, I can tell a joke. It's not that hard to kind of, flip flop a little bit.
Right. So, did anyone get the highlights of his speech? Was it just the general stuff? Just
I didn't watch
wanna
it.
hear
I didn't
what
watch it
he
because there
did.
weren't any.
I didn't want to hear it at all.
I want to
I mean,
know.
was
His
it
voice grinds on my spine.
It makes me
Yeah,
want to
I mean-
break something.
Well, no, ears bleed, that type of thing, like scanners.
Liam watched it.
And Liam watched.
Why are you torturing yourself like that, man?
Wait a second.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Now, I'm too busy going back and forth reading all these great comments.
Oh, great comments or just hilarious?
Well, hilarious. Yeah.
Oh God.
Liam said he was reading off the teleprompter.
All right.
Oh,
kind of-
that's why he looked so strained. Okay, he had to read. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. He can't read. I think we all know this.
Yeah. Okay. So
Let me ask
someone
you guys
wrote it.
a serious
Yeah.
question.
Go ahead.
Have you
Go ahead,
ever
Tim.
had that Orville Redenbacher's pour over butter popcorn?
I'm sorry. Pour over.
Pour over butter.
Yeah, little Redenbachers. Yeah.
That is the best popcorn to ever hit the market. You hear me? I mean, holy hell.
Hey, Liam, how you doing?
Hey, Will, how's everybody doing?
Good.
We're
How
doing
are you?
okay. To TJ, we said hi.
Will.
So you suffered through that? Sound?
Yeah, I can't stand his voice, but I switched on ABC Australia because all my peeps in Australia were just going shredding my phone because they're so angry over all of this. The whole, the world, most of the world hates them, and so sorry, there was an echo. I got distracted.
God damn it! It came back.
So I went ahead. So I went ahead. Plus, I'm just kind of wound up right now too. I need to calm down.
Yeah.
And 'cause
Join
I'm
the
so
club.
mad about it. Yeah, I'm so pissed off. But anyway, I went ahead and sat through it. And the funny part, yeah, you could totally tell he was reading. His eyeballs were kind of bouncing around, and he looked really strained. Yeah, and he's having a tough time reading off the teleprompter. And then at the end, he's like, "God bless the military. God bless the United States. Oh, and God bless the Middle East too. I just bombed you, but God bless you."
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
Well,
Oh, and
bless
then
your
he-
That
heart,
was just
big
a nail
guy.
in the coffin because he knows most of those people are Muslim. So that was just a
Yeah.
dig.
Yeah, and then that was a huge eye roll. And then he made more threats, like if they don't like surrender and knock off their shit, then we have more targets.
Jesus.
Surrender to what?
Yeah.
Surrender to whom?
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
mean, what? I mean, surrender or sign a deal? What the hell?
Right.
Probably the deal
Who
thing.
wrote that
but, you know,
speech?
They
That's
didn't.
he wants to be the deal maker.
Like, I never thought I would say this, but Iran didn't fucking do anything.
Right.
They just sat there and got their ass bombed off.
They embarrassed him back during his first term. That's what they did. And as we all know, this guy can't stand being embarrassed because he literally suffers a tiny brain bleed every time that happens.
Right. Maybe he saw that video that Iran put out of them trying to take him out. Maybe that pissed him off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He also
I mean,
carried on about. Oh, sorry, Will.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, he was carrying on about how they're the number one funder of Urism around the world, and so we're pretty much putting the smackdown on that. I can't quote everything because it was forgive me for not being able to just actually quote it, but yeah, he made a point there about, or he was trying to make a point rather about how we how they fund everything around the world, and we're putting a stop to that and making the world a better place or whatever.
We're making the world a better place.
Something like
I
that.
got a good thing for that after we're done here, but looks like
Nick, how you doing? Okay, you're out of the penalty box, bro. How's he doing? How you doing?
Hey, so sorry. So first of all, I am so sorry. Shell, I don't know what's wrong with me. I think look, sorry, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's nothing that I can say that could make it right. So I apologize.
I
So
have
I'll
some-
say this, and I'll say I accept your apology, and let's go forward. I'm looking forward to
Let's
the
move on.
future.
I have some advice for you. I'm not going to bash you. I'm not going to rag on you. I'm going to give you some advice.
Sure,
So,
man.
I was on Mike's live. I think it was last night or the night before, and a woman came on who both said our only option left is pitchforks and torches, but like up to 11, and there's no hope, and this and that and the other thing, and then went, but I can't protest, I can't do this and that, and really, really frustrated people. I came on and I said, okay, everyone step back, take a deep breath. Message to every one of those people is, if you're not going to fire the gun, get out of the gunning seat. And so my advice to you would be try and lead with something like that next time. Don't get scared and just lash out. Just say, all right, take a step back, take a deep breath, then say, all right, if we're not going to be helpful, let's get out of the seat and let somebody else take the wheel. Does
No,
that sound
I
good?
agree. I agree.
So,
yeah.
so that being said, and moving on. So, Nick, what's your opinion on this fine Saturday night? Just saying.
So, I mean, I think, so, first of all, thank you for having me again, and I apologize. I will
Oh no, move on, brother. We're good.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
move on. Let's move on.
Okay. I mean, how do I feel? What do I think? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we've all had our say. Go ahead.
man, I think, okay, so I've said this in the comments like multiple times, but like, I think that this is a grand distraction from the issues that are happening domestically, and it is a very convenient distraction from those issues, and they will use it, and sorry, but like I think I have been waiting for this moment, right? I didn't know the form that it was going to take. I didn't know how it was going to manifest itself, but I do think that this is the modus operandi or whatever of their distraction to the domestic issues that are happening in the United States.
I agree.
But I'm going to ask you this question though, Nick, on this. Maybe you agree or not agree.
Yeah.
Don't you think that if people, this is an unpopular war. I mean, polls are saying it. Don't you think this will complicate their domestic issues? Because then people will
Yeah.
have one more thing to speak up on.
Yeah, that was going to be my response as well.
I think yes, and I think also we're thinking. I don't know. Yes.
Hey,
Sorry. So I think it does complicate their issues, but I think also we're giving too much. We're thinking that they're thinking too far ahead, and that they. Never mind. I don't know.
Well, check this out.
No,
So
ahead,
what
go
he
ahead.
said is, it got me to thinking about something earlier, and it just crossed my mind. So 2 days ago, or maybe today, I heard that Trump was thinking about putting the National Guard in every city in the United States, and then all of a sudden he bombs Iran, right? to get us not to think about that. He's going to court right now over that same situation, but now he's saying we're going to put it in every city in the United States, and then to distract us from that, now he's doing this.
Yeah, and with making that comment, he has no idea. He was even have one or two people in each city. You know,
But it's going to get complicated because, and Shelley, you probably could back me on this. They went into Bell today and got
Yes.
trapped.
Yep.
And they got trapped. And here's the thing, they blocked them out, and then Bell police pretty much rescued the people in those vans and got
Yes.
them out.
Yes.
And so if local police, if that's happening, I mean, that's another mark on that ICE is not going to be popular. Because the point is for everybody, I'm going to say it again and again and again, is that this is not about the immigration question. It's about the due process question. You are taking people off the streets
Yeah, well,
for the reason for, ICE. You're
No,
taking people without any due process, anything, just because you can. And again, if you haven't seen it, look up Mike's podcast with Old Soul, and that tells you their mentality right now.
yeah, it does. ICE says that
And-
they're
I almost put my fist through my fucking wall after I saw that show.
yeah, I think I did actually.
I
ICE
almost
says
snapped
that
my phone. Go ahead.
they said that their morale is down because they're running out
You
of
think?
money. Yeah, running out of money, and now they're getting glitter bombed, and they can't get it off for 3 or 4 days.
I saw that. Isn't that wonderful?
brilliant.
I just
love
think
it.
that's wonderful.
And someone,
guys.
put, yeah,
Just
JD.
today, I saw 3 or 4 separate videos from different cities of ICE getting fucking swarmed by people today. I mean, people are fighting back really hard now against ICE.
Yes.
And here's the, if they had,
Hey,
I'll be honest, yeah, go ahead, Leo.
I'm really sorry for interrupting. I just remembered something from the speech. He said that him and
Oh,
Bibi
God.
had worked on this for a long time.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
sure you did.
Yeah, whatever.
Goddamn liar.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was carrying on about how they've killed so many of our people around the world in various attacks and whatnot. And this
What are you
and that.
talking about?
And then him and Bibby worked on this for a long, long time.
A long, long time is in 4 days because
Yeah.
that's only.
Well, to him, that's
all
probably a
about
long
those
time.
days.
you know,
He's so
I personally,
broken down from Adderall abuse.
in my lifetime, I've never felt more disgrace for a president than
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
And I,
You know
I
what,
know, I
JD?
know
He
everyone
worked on
here.
it until his crayons were out of the box, until he was done with all his crayons. Fucking
Just,
I'll guarantee you that Trump has a flesh-covered crayon somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you know, you know.
I know. I know,
sure.
and I'm not happy that I know.
yeah.
well, I can gladly say that I do not
That is
know.
horrible.
I don't want to.
Now,
Um,
I just want to say something here. I go to Bernie Sanders' TikTok page and look. There's a video on there. He had a rally today in Oklahoma, and he was on stage giving a speech when he got the news that we bombed Iran in real time. Go watch Will Drucker, Jay, and Shelly. I sent you that video.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
I'll
thousands
watch
of
it later.
people from Oklahoma there in that stadium, and they were all just outraged. Fucking outraged.
See, he's not going to get what he wants. There's not going to be "Yay America." No, it's going to be "F you, Trump."
Oh yeah.
F you, Trump. That's where we're at.
Dude, the next protest the next protest is gonna make No King's Day look like a fucking picnic.
That's what I said earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I hope so.
yeah, how I know ICE is unpopular, and Nitchik P, this is kind of relevant to you because I think it was you that expressed interest in playing Destiny when I brought it up, because I promise this is relevant. Okay, first things, everybody look up online the Roblox ICE protests. I swear to God, this is a thing.
It's
You've never
hilarious,
heard of
dude. I saw that.
this kid, some Trump-la-fuck kids dressing their avatars up as ICE agents, and then a whole bunch of regularly dressed people ran them out. Just surrounded them, spamming the chat with all kinds of things so nobody can hear what they say, waving signs at them that say "melt the ice" and stuff like that. It was glorious.
Oh, I was
And-
going to ask you guys.
Wow,
I'm going to ask a
that's
quick
crazy.
question. This on the
Very
side
cool.
because just some humor. During the No Kings protest, did you see all the signs? Some of the signs they had.
Well, there was
Yeah.
Did you? Which was your favorite? Because I got a couple I want to put out, but I want to ask you guys. Did you see a couple favorites you remember?
I had a
that
couple
people had put
favorites.
out?
Can I go
One,
first?
Go
my
ahead,
top
JD.
two.
Go ahead, JD first. I'm sorry, JD. Go ahead.
My favorite was "It's So Bad the Introverts Are Here."
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I like that one.
Go ahead, Jay.
I like that
My-
one too.
My two favorites are really, really funny. One was a depiction of Stephen Miller as one of the aliens in Coneheads, and I think the caption was "Stephen Miller human butt plug."
Some people.
Well,
remember
there
that
you
one.
go.
Trevor shared that with me.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
And then the other one was, obviously this was like a satire thing, but another one was a guy in a, maybe this is slightly off topic, but there was a guy there who was in a stormtrooper suit and had a sign that said "The Empire did nothing wrong."
Jeez.
It was satire, obviously, but it was pretty damn funny. I'll give him
I
that.
love
That's
it. I love
great.
it. Have you guys seen?
How about you
Andor?
sucked in Home Alone too?
I like
Yeah,
that.
that one was good.
That was good. That was a good one. Yeah.
Jay, have you seen the show Andor?
I've seen parts
yes.
of it. I've seen
Oh,
parts
okay.
of it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant. My two favorite were someone put up a sign and said, "You made an Asian sit out in the sun, you monster." What I thought was great. And my other favorite was a sign up with a picture of Pedro Pascal on it, and underneath, "This is the only king I will kneel to." So I thought that was
There's another one I saw.
appropriate.
It was like Hey Trump, nobody paid us to be here. We all hate you for free.
Oh, I had another one. This one was a Harry Potter quote. It was up on the sign. Somebody wrote, "Orange, orange long bottom."
There you go. So
That was funny.
the-
If you
the best
read the
thing-
Harry Potter books, you know that one.
yeah,
Even
good
the
thing
simple-
about
I
the-
don't know if I
Oh,
remember that,
sorry.
actually. Orange lump.
It's a
Even
you
even
have
the
to-
simple
Go ahead, Ian.
covering of the no parking signs. I'm sorry. The simple
ahead, Ian.
covering of no parking anytime signs, where people were covering up the PAR with tape. You know, just the simple covering of those no parking anytime signs
Yeah.
to change
No
them to no
king-
king
no king
anytime.
anytime.
That
Yeah,
was
that's
that was really good.
That's cool.
And the
That's
thing
very
about it,
cool.
most of those they were peaceful. What I'm still seeing on the with Fox News, they're talking about it. JD Vance came to Los Angeles. No one noticed until he showed up. But that speech that he did, or presser, was disgusting. Just him still doing all the talking points that LA is burning. I don't think LA is burning. It's not, guys.
It's not.
But
No.
it's not. Trust me, I saw LA burn in the 90s. I
Yes.
know what
yeah,
it
with
takes.
Rodney King. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Will,
so-
I never did tell you. Sorry to interrupt. I was going to tell you a while back that TJ and I didn't grow up together. We didn't reunite until we were adults, and because we're half brothers, really. We have the same father. Lucky for him. Lucky for him because my bio mom's a total Trump humper. But I did
Wow.
finish growing up in Southern California, and I lived
Oh,
I
cool.
lived in Palms during the riots over there, Venice and Overland.
Oh, dear
That's by
God.
where I
And
work.
oh yeah, it's right. Culver City's across the street. The old MGM Studios was right across the street there. And yeah, I have plenty of stories. I know we don't have time for those now, but you were talking about this recently. The whole, the King riots and everything else, and I was just sitting back going, oh yeah. Because the only thing that got close to my place was remember Fedco, kind of like Costco.
Yeah.
There was
remember
one
Fedco.
down on there was one down on like Venice and like was it La Cienega or whatever down a little bit further east down the road, and it got ransacked, but that was about as close as it got to my apartment at the time. But it was just crazy, And then when they had the curfew, I tried to go to my sister's house, of all places, Simi Valley, where they held the
Dear
trial.
God.
I know, and it took me 6 hours to get from West LA to Simi Valley that evening. It was such a
Dear God.
clusterfuck. It was chaos.
Imagine.
I sat at like National and I-10, like an intersection over there, just to get through an intersection a half an hour. And then I decided, I'm going to try to just kind of take all the side streets out to Santa Monica, and then I'll take the PCH. And that was, all the side streets were backed up. There was nowhere to go.
wow.
It was just pandemonium, But I'll never,
I
I worked at American Airlines Air Cargo at the airport, and the night the verdict came in, and
Hey,
you could
hey,
just
Liam.
feel it. Go ahead.
Do you think it took you more time or less time to get to where you got to on that night than it does for JD Vance to leave a couch alone?
It was nuts. Oh God! And
6 hours is
yeah,
a
you
long time.
just derailed my train, Jay.
That's a long
Yeah,
6
But
hours
it was
for that couch.
But but those of us,
That's a
that's a true. I believe because those of us who've done LA traffic, I'm going.
Yeah.
Well, that's not bad. Counting on the day.
look.
can
Look,
live
I
with
used
that.
to be able to.
Well, let me
Yeah,
put it in
sorry.
perspective for everybody. When you talk about it taking 6 hours, it's only about 30 miles.
Exactly.
Listen to this, okay? Just to put it in better perspective. back in 1989 when I started working at LAX, I lived in Thousand Oaks. Okay, I lived at home, and if I worked the AM shift, I could leave at like 4:45 from Thousand Oaks, and be at LAX, in 45 minutes, speeding, of course. And back in 1990, there was not even near the amount of cars that were on the road, okay, as there is now.
Exactly.
And so, 45 minutes hauling ass from Thousand Oaks to LAX, and Simi Valley's just a mile up the street from our house. And so, to put it in perspective for those of you that aren't familiar with the geography there, you could do the drive in less than an hour. So it took me like 6 hours to make this journey that night, because everybody was trying to, there was going to be this huge curfew in LA County, and everybody was just freaking out.
So now
Heck, when I
live
sorry.
13 miles from work, and it takes me 57 minutes to go to work at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe it. Hey, listen, here's, I'm sorry for, I'm always good at trailing off topic, so forgive me. TJ will just beat my ass later. But
No.
I left for work. I had just gotten this Toyota 4-wheel drive truck, okay, brand new, 1989, because my parents didn't want me driving the little Volkswagen thing all the way down to LAX. And so I'm on the 101 in Agora, okay? And
Okay.
there was it was raining. It was just really rainy weather. It was still dark
Oh,
in the
God.
morning. And I had it in 4-wheel drive, which I learned later as an adult that doesn't mean shit, all right? and I'm in the slow lane of 6 lanes. And you know how there's no street lights in Los Angeles freeways? They don't have, there's no street lights or nothing. So I hit this ponding of water. And my truck
crap.
spun around. I spun around 6 times, and then I ended up facing westbound. I was about 3 feet from hitting the concrete wall. Thankfully, I didn't, smack it.
Oh my gosh! Really?
But I'm facing.
Wow.
Instead of facing Los Angeles, I'm facing Ventura now. Okay, I'm facing the
No
wrong way.
Wow.
And 4:45 in the morning, right?
Right. Yeah.
And
let's keep on
there's just-
talking about it.
Hey, Will,
And there's just one.
No. Hang on. No.
we might have
Let's
to
keep
drop
on talking about it. Yeah, because
I'm going to.
He's trolling all of us right now. By the way,
Excuse me, sir.
Drop him.
He's not trolling you.
he's trolling
He says
us.
troll. No.
Mitchie,
Let me
please.
make this clear. As someone from Los Angeles, I've been on
Fucking
that
assholes.
freeway.
Fuck this.
Oh wow.
Okay, you're.
Yeah. See ya.
Remind
This
me.
wouldn't wanna
to
be,
do
uh,
that
lost.
later.
That guy's a lost cause. He learned nothing from what I said.
I never liked that guy actually when he was on the other night. So I'll just wrap that up and say when I was facing the wrong direction, there was one set of headlights. One set of headlights
shit.
way out in the distance, right? Okay, and I was able to restart the truck, because I stalled it. It was it's a manual, and I was able to restart the truck, turn it around, and head back towards LA. Nowadays, I would have been banged around by 50 other cars had that happened nowadays.
This is
That's
true.
how. Yeah, back then. Yeah, there was just one car coming way off, and I had plenty of time to get my shit together and get out of there.
And
Sorry for
and those of
trolling
us-
all you guys.
No, dude, don't worry about it, Leon. Fuck
Fine.
that. Because here's the thing: those of us, Shelley and I, who've been there. I'm seeing you coming out of down the 101. I've been there, and here's the thing: I'm weird. Sometimes I will hear an LA station and catch up on the traffic and go, "Hey, I know what that
Yeah.
is." It's almost like
Yeah.
cathartic. It's kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah, well, on that topic, Will, I work in Portland, and like a fool, I live 74 miles from work, and at nighttime, I could actually dial in KNX 1070.
Nice.
Oh, that.
It comes
Wow.
at KNX 1070 is a shell of itself. Let me tell
Yes, I
you,
know.
because it used to be my best friend back in the day because I never wore a watch.
Same
Okay.
here.
So
Same
every
here.
5 minutes, KNX news time is 10:20. You
Yep.
know, and then
Exactly.
everything now is just it's nothing but it's so painful to try to listen to it now because it's just like deadbeat lawyer ads and
Yeah.
what is it, like male enhancement pills? Is the IRS
God.
after you? You know, it's just like, oh my God,
I
KNX,
will.
what has happened to
This
you?
is my KNX story. Since we're off topic, because I think we need a break. Sorry, guys. Sometimes we need a break.
Yeah, I like going off topic. I'm
KNX
really sorry.
No, it's good. If you don't know, KNX 1070 News is a 50,000 watt station that just is an all news station, CBS. Okay, so it was my spirit animal. I listened to it all the time, and I was It was on in the radio in the kitchen where I lived in Palmdale when the Northridge quake hit.
I lived in
And-
Palmdale when it hit too, Will.
Oh, that
Yeah,
fucked
where'd
our
you
house
live?
up so bad.
I'm going to ask you where you live. So what happened is everything went crazy. We knew it. And after it stopped shaking, everything was silent. Have you ever listened to the War of the Worlds, the radio show? That one
God,
scene
yeah.
in it with Orson Welles, where the guy is asking New York because they, when the gas came, he goes, 2X2L, is New York? Are you there? Everything went silent, and so on the half hours you get, and the hour you get the network news for 5 minutes. That's another way you tell time. And like Liam says, that was your time stamp. So all of a sudden, I don't hear anything, and then I hear the guy go, "This is CBS New York calling CBS LA. Is anyone there?" And I'm going, "Oh shit, that's not good." I knew we were in trouble then because
Right?
they couldn't connect. That was bad. I lived in Palmdale Boulevard. Oh yeah, we lived near the freeway. I don't know where
I
you live,
lived off
Shelley.
of Avenue L.
Oh, okay, you're on that side. I know
Yeah.
what that is. Yeah. Oh, welcome to the High Desert Club. Long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a story about the I mentioned the just really quick to finish the thread I was going to do earlier. This is not me trying to steer the conversation back. I just had a thing I wanted to finish earlier. I
No,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
kinda
We're gonna go
segue
back
into this,
anyway.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, Jay.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
yeah.
I also I don't know what the hell happened with Nichik P back there. He clearly has some kind of emotional regulation disorder. There's no other way I can explain why he just flipped his
Yeah,
lid like that.
he can get stuffed actually. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of reading his comments, and yeah, he can go get stuffed.
Go ahead, Liam. Jane. Go ahead. You were
Anyway.
saying, bro.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Anyway, so there's Roblox ICE protests going on, but a thing like that also happened in Destiny, and I mentioned on a previous slide the story of the Trumplefuck who got into a Destiny Crucible match. And Crucible, if you don't know, is the sort of PvP content activity in Destiny. And if you want to learn a little bit more about it, you can go find my explanatory videos on my profile. But anyway, we all get into this match, and normally Crucible matches are pretty friendly because Destiny players are nerds and they're very smart people and they're very energetic usually, and they like just hanging out and being friendly and having fun. And this one guy pops in who he's dressed kind of like Homelander from The Boys because he has done everything possible to deck himself out in like red, white, and blue. And already everyone's kind of going like, "Uh-oh, why is he wearing that?" Like, so already we can tell this guy's trouble because no reason are you decking yourself up in the American flag that strong unless you're some kind of right-wing deranged freak. So anyway, we play the game, and at first it doesn't start off too bad. The guy's pretty bad at the game and keeps getting smoked. It starts off not that bad. Where it all goes to shit is where on the next round of that match, this guy switches from his, shitty knockoff Homelander outfit to a fucking ICE agent cosplay. I didn't even know you could do that with the shaders and gear that you have in this game. And as soon as this guy did that, everyone recognized what he was trying to do. And the worst part of it was a little more than half the people in that match, including a fair number of people on the other team, because it was 6v6, were wearing Pride Month shaders.
Oh, jeez.
They're wearing Pride Month shaders. One guy had on this really awesome rainbow one that changed the color of his gear over time. And so what then happened is this guy, decides to do the dumb thing and cosplay as an ICE agent, and then the goal of everyone on our team realized, okay, we know who this guy is, we know what's going on. The goal of everyone on my team becomes to just smoke this guy over and over again. And so we start doing exactly that, and he starts appealing to his own team to go, hey guys, help me out, the other team's targeting me, and they say, we're not helping you. You're on your own, buddy. We're not coming to save you. Because Destiny players don't like that shit. Destiny players are not built that way. And so this guy,
sad.
this guy keeps just getting fucked over by everyone over and over again, and eventually just starts ugly crying into his mic.
And that's the thing. It's sad to watch people bring that into those type of areas, because to an extent, to a lot of us, that's safe spaces to have fun in.
Yeah.
Without political bullshit. And, everyone might think that's nerdy or whatever, but I get it, because you just want to sometimes just let off and not be involved in crap. But people just can't let shit go because that's all they are. Isn't that a sad fact to think that, like, the one trend I hate, and I want to ask you guys if you've seen it, that trend where MAGA plays a song and either clap to it with just something they say, but they never say anything? Does that bug you as much as it bugs me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I have a theory as to why they don't say anything.
They're not smart enough to string words together coherently. So
I think the reason they don't say anything in those videos is they think that if they open their mouth, you'll hear in, thousands of voices at once, my name is Legion, for we are many.
I could see that. But the point is, like, if you're brave enough to do that, you'd be brave enough to talk shit.
Right.
Put your words to it.
I mean, why not
go
just
ahead.
wear your MAGA hat?
By the way, I can do an impression of what this guy sounded like ugly crying, because it was just so fucking bizarre and pathetic. It sounded like this.
Sorry.
It sounded like whales fucking, to be honest.
I don't know.
It was bizarre.
I
and
don't. Again,
I was dying. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. But
Hey, Will.
yeah, I don't. There's a visual I don't need. Yes, sir.
Before everything melted down, I had something for you and Shell,
Yes.
Okay.
and I'll be brief. Listen closely.
Sig alert. I remember that.
That's right. I got that saved on my Mac, and ever since they took that away, that was the end of KNX. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh my god.
That's an awesome memory.
Yeah, they buried it.
Whoa.
It's dead. And all their jingles are dead. And they're pretty much, that's why I said they're a shell of themselves.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Okay,
So anyways.
thank you, Liam, for bringing back memories. I appreciate. Actually, that's cool. I haven't heard that in so many times.
Yeah.
Because usually when I heard that, it was like, oh shit, now what?
Yeah.
After that, when you're
the only
driving.
people I know that dream about traffic now.
Oh my God, he is having
Here's
a
the thing,
ball. He's
LA
smiling
traffic-
thinking about it.
LA traffic, I'm going to say this, for someone who's driven through Atlanta for the last 10 years, LA traffic has a vibe to it.
Yep.
Atlanta traffic is a chore.
Yeah.
And it's just a difference. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being,
No, you're right. I drove big rigs for 3 years, and I did the 285 in Atlanta many times, and I'd rather sit in LA traffic.
Well, there you go.
Now,
That's
see,
a
I
statement.
have family up in Baltimore, and they're having a hard time with the traffic because of the bridge that was knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
Because now everybody has to go through the tunnel, and it's really messing up. You have to go through the tunnel or all the way around the Beltway, and it is really messing up traffic, big time.
So, B Action, how you doing? You popped in. How's it going?
I'm doing really good. This is the first time I've been on a live.
Oh, welcome to the family.
Well, thank
We're
you.
mostly harmless, mostly.
Emphasis on mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, obviously, you're here because of the discussion of what's going on. I wasn't going to do this, but after everything that's come up, we needed to address the
Yeah,
last few
Iran.
weeks. Yeah. So, what are you thinking here? How you doing? I guess is the term, best way to put it at this
Well,
point.
just more, just more lies. And, it was pretty much a foregone conclusion as soon as he started talking about it. 2 weeks. Okay, it's going to happen. And it did. So I was wondering, is TJ on this live or is it his
No,
brother?
he's not. It's his brother.
Well,
He was he was
I
here for a
recognize.
minute. I just saw him for a minute, but I don't know
Oh,
if
he
he
was?
stayed. Yeah,
Oh, he
I
probably
said
heard
hi to
me
him.
and
He's looking for
he
you, Liam.
yeah,
He's
he
looking
probably
for
heard
you.
me and went, "Oh no."
Yeah, I recognize the voice. So
They
But
do
He
sound
probably
alike, even though they weren't raised together. They do sound alike.
yeah.
yeah, their voices are very similar.
Yes.
Their
Hmm.
laugh really gives them
Genetics.
away. Yeah.
Genetics. But I think now that we've kind of survived the speech and everything, tomorrow is going to be. Tomorrow is a warning for everybody. Okay, is that the media machine is going to try to make this a viable thing. The Sunday shows are going to be nothing but bullshit. Be prepared. I remember when the Sunday news shows were just reporters evaluating the news, and that was their opinion show before it got all whacked. They're going to have every Trump-la-fuck or every Republican up there trying to sell you that Iran is put in your enemy there. And
Yeah.
we have to push back tomorrow hard. That
I
narrative
agree.
cannot take root at all.
I agree. And I follow Adam Kinzinger quite a bit, but I think I might be done with him because he came out and said he does not oppose it.
Ugh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because these guys, I mean, and John Fetterman has already already said to do it. These guys don't give a shit because it ain't their family. They're going to fight it.
Right.
And they think, if you're thinking that's going to benefit us in the Middle East, you're out of your goddamn minds. We're going to get involved in a Middle Eastern war. We don't need to. It's going to be an unpopular war, which is even a secondary. And it's not going to, and also, the Iranians have put it out there. If they get pushed against the shove, they can burn their entire oil fields. And if you don't think that's going to affect the world economy, you're out of your minds. They have that.
Oh, I'll be fucked. I
Yeah.
live 74 miles from work.
Yeah.
Ouch.
And the thing about
Not to be
yeah,
selfish, of course.
no. And the thing about it is, it's these guys are thinking in the terms of the old days, where we could use the club to do diplomacy, and it's not going to work. And the rest of the world doesn't want it because they know it's going to domino out of control. War is you kick one domino down, you don't know what's going to happen next. Is it going to land flat or is it going to start a roll to something else?
Right.
We
Hey,
don't
Will,
know.
you want to hear
Also,
something?
yes, sir.
So I
Go
just
ahead,
walked
T.
into the house while you guys were talking. My wife, who was zero politics, she don't like it. She don't listen. But she's watching this war thing, and she says, "I don't understand." She said, "They're making it sound like this is a good thing." She said, They're not looking at it the way that you and I. You know what I mean? So, and this is MSNBC is up here propping up this thing like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And I just told
Because
her,
it's ratings.
right, it's
It's
right.
ratings. I mean,
It's
people.
money.
I mean, it's like and people are looking at now. They're thinking, yeah. So now we can do all the map shit, and we can get all the generals out, and we can talk about all the because it's not real to them.
That's funny.
It's not
you say
real
that,
to
'cause
them.
there's a general on there right now talking.
There you go. And it's like, and people will flock to it because that's what they do. And I know this is all bullshit because it's not going to work for us. And I'm hoping that people don't go, all right, we're at war, we have to support it. No, we don't. We don't. And if you don't support it, you're not un-American. You're probably more American than these people. This is another page of the authoritarian playbook. War. War is a way of making people feel better about themselves as a country, and no matter what you're doing. That's a sad truth. And that scares the
The
hell out of me.
opposite effect on me.
Yeah. But I'm worried that people will get sucked into it, and I'm hoping not. Because I don't know what's going to happen next, because they don't know what's going to happen next. They don't. They're flopping around. Yeah, we bombed them. Now what? What's your plan? What's your long range? What's your goal? I mean,
There
I
is
was
a
deeply ashamed before this, but deeply, deeply ashamed before this, because of Old Soul and because of so many others that the same thing and even worse things are happening. But this, my only hope with this is I live in a red state. And so I'm around Trump-la-fucks all the time. I'm at odds with my neighbor. It's not pretty around here. I'm hoping that this will open their eyes.
It won't.
Okay? It won't. You're probably right. It won't.
They're already defending him.
B action.
So
Well,
much
blaming
for
Biden.
all our. Oh, sorry.
No, this is
So much
is
for.
B action.
Oh, sorry, trucker.
No, you're good. This is for B action. I live in a red state also. And I just heard that our governor just allowed ICE to use one of our military bases as a detention center. And I about lost my shit. He's going to use Camp Atterbury here in Indiana to hold migrants.
My God.
so is it going to be like what's
I'm in
going on?
Indiana,
They're not
too.
detention centers. They're not detention centers. Let's call them what they are, T. They're
Exactly.
freaking concentration camps.
Right.
Yes.
That's what they are. And
Yeah.
and they're in Georgia here. They're looking to set up one huge one, combining some leftover prisons they have here, and they're all being run by a private company because they're making money. And the only thing I'm waiting for is them to put him to work with a sign going, "Work shall set you free." Okay, it's no different. It's no different. So that's the thing. We are now in a two-front war for us here. We've got international, where Trump is using as an excuse. Now we have here at home, where our own government is at war with us.
Here's something I'm thinking about. We talk about like the people, like at the protests, for example. People are obviously mad. To be able to to topple this regime, it's going to take, think of this country as like a pot of water boiling until it boils over. People just get angrier and angrier and angrier and angrier until something sets it off, and it's just going to be a big outrage. Because there are way more of us than there are of them. We already know that.
Yeah. And one thing is that I will say is that what T, you were talking about MSNBC and all that. Who the fuck watches MSNBC anymore?
I don't watch any
Their
ladies.
ratings suck.
It won't be me. I
I don't
know.
watch
Nobody.
them either.
Hey, and check
Yeah.
this out, Will. You want to know what's bad about Camp Atterbury?
Oh, lovely, go.
It is infested with chiggers.
Haha.
Oh my God.
They can't get rid of them. So, yeah, that's going to be bad. You itch constantly for these little stupid things that are biting you every
Jeez.
2 seconds.
And what's his thinking? Why do they think that's going to benefit everyone? Republicans, the cruelty is the point. and you have to be more cruel than the next one.
Right. And I say that
And
because the guards that go out and take their little smoke breaks, they won't get any peace.
no, and
All right.
bottom line, I mean, the good thing about, and we're talking about mainstream media, and I saw it, the mainstream media is suffering because no one's really watching it. People, the Midas Touch has grown. Everyone else has grown. Those people that they fired from them are getting bigger audiences. Jim Acosta, Joey Reed. These
Keith Olbermann.
are where people go. People are getting their. This is where people are getting their information and running with it because we know it's true, and we know they're not going to bullshit us. And but the problem is that the mass media is going to try to make this a war I don't know what the hell they're going to, how are they going to pitch this motherfucker? Please tell me.
You know what?
How are they going to
I was
pitch
going to
this
say,
shit?
Liam, he found
sorry,
you.
Will. Uh-oh. Hey, bro. Hey, Will. I
Yes,
was
sir.
going to say so much for all our speculation that somebody was holding Diaper Don back from all the ramifications. Like one of the ones that we talked about was how, his base is all frazzled over the gas prices and whatnot. And then we talked about how Iran could retaliate and hit the oil storage tanks and whatnot. And so we speculated that, somebody would be holding him back from doing this because of all those ramifications and telling him, hey, if you do this, then there's going to be retaliation. They might hit the oil storage tanks, causing the prices to soar even higher and make you look bad. I'm like kind of disappointed that our speculation didn't come to fruition.
Yeah, he surprised me. Hey, TJ, what's up?
I was shocked.
You still with us,
TJ
TJ?
has a red
Nothing.
bar, it looks like.
Yeah,
There you go, brother. How you doing?
I'm trying to answer
Hey,
you. Will.
JD.
Um,
JD.
What's up?
Oh, the background noise. I got a speaker. I have earbuds that are on a wire, and the speaker's in my beard, and that's probably where the background noise comes from. I keep forgetting that, so sorry.
I was wondering about that. Like,
It's got to be my speaker bouncing around.
yeah.
So, TJ, how you doing? Having a wonderful day like the rest of us this fine Saturday evening?
well, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm pretty beat down today. I just played a gig. I just got home, and
Oh, wow.
I was playing. I had no idea, because I didn't have my phone on me. You know what I mean?
He was drunk.
And, I get done playing, and I'm gathering up my gear, and Mike sends me a text, and he says, "Can you believe what Trump's saying?" And I go, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, I have no clue what's going on because I been out of it for like an hour and a half,
Right.
So then Mike calls me and he tells me what's going on, and I'm like, holy fuck, really? So then I just went and looked, and it's very concerning to say the least.
I was going
I
to
mean, I
text
don't
you,
know.
but I figured you knew.
The plans, again, we don't know what their plan is. What's their plan? What's the end game? I mean, is it just we're going to do what we have to do to keep doing it? I don't know. I think that's the thing. We're all sitting here going, what the hell? What's next? That's
What
a
is
hard
next?
way to live life. Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
great
hard way
question.
to live life. What's
Yeah.
next?
I mean, it
I mean,
just
I
feels
don't-
like such a weight on all of our shoulders daily.
It's an abusive relationship, is what it is.
Yes, it is.
Hey, my
We're in a
relationship.
fucking we're in a fucking abusive relationship with our government.
Yeah.
Well, so what?
What's our next?
Wow, there's some
So I'll tell you
there's some
what's-
connotations of that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's next. Next, the Houthis are going to do what they do because they've already said it. They had talked about the oil. They've already mentioned that they were 110% going to Iraq and start blowing those things up. I mean, it's going to be a mess, right? You've got the leader of Iran meeting with China. Now you got Russia pissed off. This whole thing is fucked. We're all
Russia.
fucked with this.
Fucked. And here's the question: what happens on Monday morning when the stock market takes a shit? And it will take a dump Monday morning.
Well, MJ
That's
said,
going to happen.
based on Truth Social, he doesn't have a plan, and we all know that, right?
No way. Yeah.
I will say this: Russia actually came out and said they're not helping Iran, mainly because they don't have the resources to do it because they're tied up in Ukraine. So
Well,
at least Russia's not part of it, but
Well,
China
I don't
worries
think
me.
Russia has anything left to help anybody.
Yeah, I'd have to
Right.
agree with that.
Well, what you see now they're talking about help. That's World War,
yeah.
people.
So, TJ, let me ask you this question I posed earlier because you're kind of
Okay.
smart with this stuff. What do you think this puts us with NATO?
Well, nothing right now because it doesn't affect a NATO country, but I don't think that NATO's very happy about it. I can
Well, I
tell
mean,
you that.
if Iran attacks one of the U.S., bases down there, right? They're
That would
attacking,
trigger Article 5.
right?
But would
Yeah,
they
that
follow
would
it is
trigger
the
Article
thing.
5. I don't know that. I mean, they have to. It's part of the treaty. I mean, an attack on one is an attack on all.
I think it's more likely
So
that they just kick us out, honestly.
Me too.
You know what?
I don't
They
You
know
know
just want
what?
to
about
throw
that.
us out of NATO, and we'll deserve it.
You know.
Yeah.
See, so now we're going back to what I said earlier about dominoes and war. And if you study World War One, there were so many secret alliances and things going in the background that when that one assassination started the whole domino effect. And everything you guys just said is the same damn thing. Tick, 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 tick. All of a sudden, everyone's involved in stuff. Everyone's got to go up. What then? That's a scary thought.
I don't think they can throw us out of NATO, and the reason why is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, every country in NATO has to agree to remove a country. Same as when you join NATO. Like when Turkey was all jacked off that Sweden was joining, and they were a holdout on Sweden. It's the same thing. They have to do it unanimously to throw you out, but that doesn't mean that dumb fuck Donnie doesn't make us quit NATO. I mean, we could voluntarily quit.
Jesus.
Yeah, he wants out anyway.
Yeah, he does, no question.
And NATO doesn't want. I don't think those countries don't want any part of this shit. They don't
Why
want.
would
This
they?
is they. I mean, because it doesn't affect them. This is, and the worst thing about it. And we're gonna have to bring this up because I've seen it. Is there are evangelicals in the fucking White House, okay, who are encouraging this because it'll bring the end times and Jesus will come for the second coming. They are fucking serious about this shit, okay? The only problem with that, if they're right, Jesus is going to be pissed at them, to be honest.
He is
They're
going
on the
to
wrong side of that.
catapult your asses down to hell at relativistic speed,
Yeah.
all right?
But the point is,
You're
can
going to
you,
smash
could you
through
imagine
hell and
that?
keep on falling.
National foreign policy determined by beliefs of a religious, and I'm going to say what they are, a religious cult. Evangelicals are a religious cult. They're not Christians.
They
to
are.
me. They are not
They're a death
Christians.
cult.
I mean, and that's insane. And the American nuclear arsenal is in the hands of a madman. And we let him get it. And so now what? Who's going to, I mean, I don't, see, that's what's frustrating for all of us sitting here. Now what? And will
Yeah.
we see the end of the year. We don't know. So, that being said, let's talk about traffic again.
Yeah, that was
Hang on,
pretty
hang on,
good.
hang on, hang on, hang on. There you go,
Thank you,
Will.
Ian. Thank
have,
you, Ian.
um,
Appreciate you.
I have a
There
quick
you
thing
go.
I wanted to bring up, which is just maybe like the mentality of some of these people and where all the sort of things fell for this. Back in 2013, when I was still in, I think it was middle school, I was in a creative writing class. There's a bunch of very bright, talented people in that class, all writing their own individual stories. They were writing short stories. And one guy who was there with me, I forget his name now, it's been like 10 plus years since then, he wrote a story called The Dispossessed. And The Dispossessed is about this, basically, he predicted MAGA, basically. His story was about this right-wing populist movement that tries to take over, I think it was the U.S. They didn't specify which country it's in. But what it turns out is that this right-wing populist movement actually was a cover for demons that were invading the world, who were invading Earth. That all the people who followed the leader of this movement, they weren't thinking, they literally weren't thinking right because they were all possessed. And the leader of this movement was literally just sort of this archdemon disguised as a human who wanted to take over the world and just devour everyone's souls and attain ultimate power or some such, comic book villain bullshit like that.
Right. Which,
And the fact that this
to an
guy came
extent,
up with that before 2016 scares by 3 years before that scares the shit out of me in hindsight.
people make their own decisions. There's a thing on stupidity by a German philosopher. You got to look it up. Dietrich. Oh God, I just drew a blank on his name. That shows that there's just something where we're gonna just stupidity makes it easier for their lives, and I don't know what we're gonna do at this point. But one thing I'm gonna say is right now, I didn't mean for this to go as long as it did, but I'm glad I did. It's time for me to pull the plug because I have to take care of business in the morning. But I want to appreciate every one of you for coming by, and hopefully we've been a little cathartic for you. Leon, thank you for that. If you have, if that's on a Wave link, please email that to me or send it to me so I have
I
that
could
sound
try.
again.
Yeah, I could try.
Appreciate
I'd like
it.
to make that my ringtone.
If you
Yeah,
figure it out,
just-
send it to me too. I'd appreciate it too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And to Rebecca in the chat asking, should we be checking them for marks? Yes, we absolutely should, because
Oh my
I
God.
gotta say, the symptoms of MAGA, honestly, are very, very similar to the demonic possession described in The Dispossessed.
So all of us, I think what we need to do is just take a deep breath right now, and understand that we'll see the morning. The best thing that I'm hoping for, that their incompetence will help it fall apart. I'm hoping that the rest of the world steps back, knowing that this man's crazy and we don't have to commit to him. And I think that's truth. And to the person here, Sisu, yes, you have to
Susu.
remember. Yeah, you have to remember that when he dropped that bombs on there, people died. Humans died. And remember that these people who are supporting this do not think of those people as human beings.
Well, because
And
they're not.
that's where we have to remind them that war is fought by people and people die and there's collateral damage. So good, keep that in mind, that we are still on the right side of history. This is a desperation move in my mind. And in the end, it's going to blow up in his face. I'm just hoping he doesn't take the rest of us with him at the same time.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
all my
really
concern.
really quick, want to remind everyone the reason these people do not see the Iranian people as humans is because the people that think this are not humans themselves. It's all fucking projection.
There you
We're dealing
go.
Okay,
with
guys.
pigs, we're dealing with insects, we're dealing with scum.
All right,
Yeah.
guys. You guys have a good night and have a good
Yeah,
day
Shelley,
tomorrow.
thank you. Yeah, take care,
Yeah.
guys. Be
All right.
safe. Take care of
Well,
yourself. And yes, sir.
Peace
Go
out.
ahead, T. All right. Good night, guys.
That's
Thank
me.
you for coming.
That's me.
Night.
Thanks for having me, Will.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys.